That's the house that Hunter Biden was renting from his dad. Not now with his art money. He was renting it from his dad when he had no money. Remember? I got no money. That's why she's pregnant. I couldn't afford a condo. Ew. Oh, poor guy. So his dad said, just stay at my house. I'm not living there. Just stay at my house.
And by the way, that's not the same garage.
Oh my gosh, what a great dad. And he wanted to make sure his son grew up a little bit. And you're going to have to work for it a little bit. You know, this house, the most expensive rent in this area is $6,000 a month. So I'm going to cut you a deal because you're my son. You just pay $50,000 a month.
Oh, that's the story about he on the gun application. He was saying his address and then how much he pays for rent. He rents the house, but he also rents offices. He had another house he was renting. Total, he was paying $50,000 in rent around. That seems to be where that number comes from.
I remember I couldn't afford the condom. Right. Well, this is a condominium.
Oh, God. Really? We're look, the only time that joke has ever worked was in Rocky. The only time. I don't really use them. Right, remember?
Ugh. More letters gotta be a little more expensive.
What the fuck?
$50,000 to his desperate son. Now, where does his desperate, I don't have any money son get money? Oh, don't worry, he got a job with, like, Burisma. He's doing deals over in China. Completely his deal. No big deal. No big deal.
Also, the like slathering sarcasm-y movements or whatever. It's obviously he's trying to telegraph a lot. But again, none of these assholes have been able to explain to me or you or anybody why, if China was paying either Hunter to get leverage on Biden or Hunter to get leverage on Biden through Hunter because Biden agreed to it, why we are acting as a country and why the Biden administration has been harder on China than even the Trump administration was, and the same thing with Russia. If any of the financial stuff they say about Biden and Hunter are true about China giving them money and Russia giving them money via Ukraine, then the Bidens, then I don't know how else to put this, but Biden fucked both those countries. And they paid him for the service. It was, if there's any story here, the headline is Biden conned China, or Biden conned Russia, or Biden conned Russia and China, because that's what this amounts to. Because if they bought influence and favors, they have gotten none of it. As a matter of fact, it's been increasingly worse as it goes on.
Joe Biden doesn't know a thing about it. Nothing. He's not getting any money from it. He's just trying to help out his poor wayward son, giving him access to his house so he has a place to rest his angelic head. While Dad charges him $50,000 a month. And what's in that house? The boxes of top secret documents right there next to the garage. So you don't need McGovern.
Wait a minute, they're now next to the garage? Are they outside? Well, then why does it even have to be Hunter? If they're just next to the garage. I heard it on Glenn Beck's program that they were even in the garage. They were next to the garage. You could just roll, anybody could drive up the driveway. They're just laying there. You can tell. And he even said they're a big red box with that says top secret on them, and they were just right next to the garage because that's how the world works.
favor. You don't need some genius to go, how do we break in past that Sears robotic arm? How do we do it? Because you already have a drug addict inside who's writing his family going, yeah, at least Dad doesn't take half your money. Remember, he's really bitter and angry with his dad.
I think that was well before this. And after he got cleaned up, that wasn't the feeling. So, well, never mind. I mean, it's
time.
Right.
He wants his dad to suffer.
Yes, he wants his father to suffer. So he'll give away, I don't know, military secrets to Russians and the Chinese that might get American service people killed, like his brother. Yeah. Think about that for a second. Think, for whatever anger there might have been father to son, Hunter definitely loved Bo. Bo's dead. But the idea is like, oh, to get back at my dad, I'll give away secrets about the United States military or our economic future just to shiv my dad for overcharging me for rent that might end in people like Bo getting killed. So people. Because again, when it comes to Hunter, occasionally they will say, well, I don't want to go after him. He's an addict and it's sad and whatever. This is not that. This is Glenn Beck basically making the case that because of interparental relationships between an adult male and his father, that man would endanger the lives of America, would basically risk a 9/11, essentially, to get back at his dad. This same dad, by the way, the only recording we have of that time that was hacked from his phone and placed on that hard drive with the name laptop is him going, get some help, I love you, son. We'll do anything we can, I love you. That recording, which is by all measures real. That's the real relationship between them. He kept that message, by the way. Because again, if you have to understand the mythology of the laptop is the idea that this laptop, my voicemails aren't stored on things like that, but you can save stuff, I suppose, or recordings of stuff if you saved it yourself. And in a moment of sadness, joy, annoyance, or what have you, that's the one he kept. He kept that message from his dad, saying, I love you, and I hope you get better, and we're pulling for you. He kept that. Meanwhile, Glenn's just shit-talking both of them.
So what Boris has to do, hey, I hear you're unhappy about Dad, huh? Hey, are those little top-secret documents? You know what would be fun? I give you more money. We say, you work in gas industry. So why is this all coming out now?
Because you have nothing else to talk about. So the idea is that why is this story? Why are the documents? Why did they find them? This is the title of this video, so we're finally getting to it 10 minutes into this fucking thing.
Why did the attorneys go in to look for all of these documents?
Because they'd gone to the Penn Center office and were shutting it down, and some of that requires the legal control of personal documents, medical documents, and that kind of stuff, so they have power of attorney to deal with those things so that the president can't be there signing off on stuff like you would do if you were shutting down one of those kind of offices. And they found those things. And then after reporting back to him that they found something like that, he went, let's do a diligent search and make sure that during the transition nothing else got in the wind. And they've been looking for stuff ever since.
Again?
And they're going through everything because they give a shit.
Are they turning them in?
Back up.
Well, obviously because they've already been sold.
Ding.
And it's good news.
It's obviously stuff because you can see how, like, the Chinese economy is thriving against the United States, and he obviously had the cure for COVID because they were planning it back during the Obama administration, and so the Chinese got it, and that's why their vaccine worked so well.
Right? That we have a special counsel? Of course it is. It's a very good thing. I'll tell you right now, you say the justice.
Oh God, man, the voice. All right, look, I know I do characters on this show times, but they're better than that. All right, help me out. Be honest.
Department is corrupt. I've appointed a special counsel on it. Oh, good.
Back up, bro.
What does Stu do while Glenn is doing this bullshit?
Tie this all up in a nice little bow for you in 60 seconds.
Oh, fuck off.
Okay, so let's tie this up in a bow.
Yeah, please. I swear to God, if he spent at least a minute during that commercial break and gathered his thoughts. Look at him, look at his notes. It's like it's like Don Jr. in 25 years.
You have a lawyer,
He's not gonna be. No.
special counsel, the House, Hunter Biden, and innocent, looking like a little puppy dog with big sad eyes, Joe Biden.
What?
Here's what's going on.
Okay, finally. All right, here we go. You guys get yellow legal pads out. Everybody got something to write on. I got an Apple Pencil. I'm gonna write it in the air and it'll fill in magically. It'll just. We're off to a good start.
Back in November, I remember reading a little story, whoa, as Tom Brokaw used to say, a whoa story, about how Joe Biden's White House was now preparing for the onslaught of the Republicans going to possibly win Congress, and needed to have all these attorneys ready to go. So